So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the Unstoppable Podcast Show, and I am Jennifer Hardy. And I am joined today with the lovely Jen Diehl. Jen, did I say your second name right? Please tell
You
me I did.
did. You did.
Everyone, honestly, that comes on the show, I can see them kind of going, oh my goodness, is she going to say my name right? And sometimes I do ask beforehand, but okay, brilliant. I'm glad I got it correct. But you are a doctor, Jen, which is amazing. So thank you so much for being on this show and for sharing some of your wisdom and your insight. I really appreciate it. Are you having a good day today already?
I am, and thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be on the show with you.
Of course, of course. So Jen, talk to me a little bit about what you actually do at the moment. I know that your title is Quality of Life Strategist, and I absolutely adore it. So talk to me a little bit about what that actually means.
Sure. So I work as a certified professional coach. I was calling myself a happiness and success coach. And what I was finding out is that my background as a CFO, doctor of business, and all of these things, I'm very much about systems.
Yeah.
And so it's finding that balance between logic and intuition. And I have a very nice balance of both. So incorporating both of those into my title of Quality of Life meets Strategy, hence the title Quality of Life Strategist. And it's all about improving everyone's quality of life.
Fantastic. Amazing. And so talk to me, like, have you always done what you're doing now? I love this question because no more often than not, it's like, no. I can imagine though, you've always had this want and desire and need to help. That's probably been ingrained in you since you were small, but did you do anything else before this?
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jen, for asking the question. I've been doing this for a couple of years. However, prior to that, I was working my way up the career ladder, career path, achieving, and not really, I was very focused on external validation and what society says we need to do to be successful on the external side.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I was receiving my bachelor's degree, my CPA, my doctoral degree, my MBA, all the degrees you can think of. And that doesn't identify me. I was also working as a CFO, so a chief financial officer. And that was before the age of 40. And what I found myself experiencing was severe anxiety and panic. And I just was burnt out. I was stressed out. And I was so focused on that external, I call myself a recovering people pleaser.
Yeah.
That I wasn't, which I think many of us are.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. And so I spent 2 years struggling through this anxiety and panic, trying to put it on the back burner, pretend it wasn't there, trying to fix myself. And I say fix myself in air quotes because I don't believe any of us are broken.
Yeah.
And the anxiety was actually telling me something. And finally, 2 years later, I listened.
My goodness. So 2 years. So your journey to get to where you are now was actually a 2 year kind of discovery process.
Exactly. So I've been a worrier my entire life, always worried about everyone else, if everyone else was okay. But all of these accomplishments and achievements and going put me into burnout, into severe anxiety and panic. And so, yeah, I spent 2 years going to doctors, listening to self-help podcasts, reading self-help books, trying to get rid of it. And really, I was exacerbating the anxiety by doing that.
Yeah.
And so finally, I listened, I surrendered, and now I'm using my gifts to serve and to really fulfill my purpose to the fullest capacity.
Amazing. And literally, there'll be people out there listening to this very episode thinking that you are the one that's inspiring them. So isn't it amazing how things go full circle?
Yes, and I feel blessed. I actually I speak about this all the time about thanking my anxiety. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because without it, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. And my journey, my story, I've suffered from anxiety since I was really young, and it comes in waves. But same thing. Like I had to kind of just embrace it at one point and be like, this is a small part, it doesn't define me, but it's always going to be somewhere within my life, and I just need to take control of it.
Yes.
And it can be very, very hard. Like you said, it's not easy to take control of something that can consume you. in your entire world. But you can learn, can't you, to control it and to have much better days, and to quash it a little bit, to keep it down, I think.
And you can even have a dialogue. You can even, and this may sound silly, but ask it what it wants. My anxiety wanted something. It was telling me to make a change. And so usually when we experience it, there's some kind of underlying reason. And so have a talk with it. Yes, you can come along. It's uncomfortable, but why are you here?
Do you know, that's the first time I've ever heard it put that way, and it's brilliant. That's so true. It is always there for a reason.
Yeah.
So actually taking some time out, whether that be going for a walk or just lying down or whatever it is that you do that can calm you slightly, and ask that question, why are you here?
Exactly.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's been a huge kind of wake up for me, just hearing that, the way that you've put that today. Thank you. So what message to everyone that's out there would you like to share about striving to live happier and, in a way, anxiety not free as such, but quashing it, like keeping it low? What advice, what message could you give to people that would be able to help them start to discover that?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is to just wake up to everything life has to offer. It is not just about professional success. It's about personal success, living life to the fullest. There's so much out there. There's so much potential for joy, abundance, happiness, all of these things. And if we just wake up to realize that, life can be so much more than we ever imagined.
Oh, I love that. That is so, so true. When you were going through the period of the 2 years when you were really thinking and digging deep, can you share with us a couple of maybe the tools or the techniques that you used to get to this place where you knew what was next for you? Sure.
So after 2 years, I believe I just surrendered. I cannot remember a specific point in time, but I just stopped fighting.
Yeah.
I was trying to fight the anxiety, and as I said, that was exacerbating it. So I just surrendered. You hear all the time, just accept it. Well, it's easier said than done. Mm-hmm. I remember myself cursing the anxiety. I'm accepting already.
No,
I'm accepting. But it wasn't really. And so finally, I don't want to say I gave up, because I don't mean give up in the sense like, okay, you win. I mean, surrender. Okay, you're here for a reason. I accept you. You can come along. And then the second piece of that was I started meditating daily, which was a huge piece. Many of us, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Jen, many of us who suffer from anxiety, and I always say there's a reason for it, but we're overachievers. We are perfectionists. Our minds are racing nonstop. And so we really need that time, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes, to meditate. And so now daily, I have a daily routine of guided meditation just to give my brain a break.
Yeah, oh goodness, that is so important, giving your brain a break. And I love meditation too. I kind of discovered it over the last few years, and it's life-changing just to have that small amount of time where you are just still. And sometimes I do guided visualization meditations, but sometimes I just put some music on and let my thoughts drift. And it's funny, when I speak to people about meditation, they think that you have to not be thinking. And of course, that would be amazing to get to that point. But it's a practice, isn't it?
Yes. And there's no wrong way. Even if you're thinking, that's okay. Just, come back to it whenever you're ready. There's no wrong way. And for me, it took me a while, because my brain was constantly going, to really get in that place where I enjoy this and I can relax and really, really give my brain a break. Yeah.
Absolutely. So people out there just now that are sitting, and maybe they are feeling that horrible bout of anxiety, they're feeling stressed, could you give them 3 things that they could do, like right in this moment, to move on from that, to change that?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is just be aware. Don't try to push it. Don't try to push it away. It's there for a reason. Just be aware and sit with it. It may be uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I went through times where it was dreadful. However, I finally learned to just be aware. So the first step is be aware. Yep, I'm experiencing some anxiety right now, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The second piece I would say is to just breathe. We talk about meditating and all of these things. Take some time and really do some breathing, and really just sitting in the moment of breathing. And then the third thing is to take that time that we talked about earlier, is to really ask it what it wants. Why are you here? If you need to take journal, there will be something there that will come through, and it will almost be like your aha moment of why is this happening? So don't try to push it away, really be aware, breathe, and then ask it what it wants.
Wonderful. Excellent tips. Thank you so much. Jennifer, I would love to know from you, what is your mission over the next few years? What do you want to achieve on a personal and business level?
Oh my gosh, that's such an amazing question. I'm on this path to use my gifts to serve. And so I'm still in this curriculum to fully learn what my complete purpose is. How can I use my gifts to my fullest capacity? So for short term, it's helping as many people as possible to thrive in their lives, both personally and professionally. And how that looks, I'm not sure. I believe, I do private coaching, of course, but I believe that this will evolve. And there are so many of us out there, you included, that are really on this mission to help others to realize their full potential, to live happy, to live abundant. And that's my mission. And I want to be authentic as possible. That's one of my core values. So I want to be able to use my authenticity, my wonderful personality, and my awesome gifts to serve as much as I can.
Awesome. Excellent. Oh, Jen, it's been amazing speaking to you today. Thank you so much. Can you tell us where we can find you on this beautiful internet space, please?
Sure. You can find me at jendiehl.net, JENDIEHL.net. And all of my social media links are there. You can schedule a strategy session. And then if you mention that you heard me on your podcast, I will give you 20% off of a coaching package.
Oh, amazing. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
If you've listened to what Jen just said, 20% off some coaching package that she is offering at the time of this release. You need to be quick and make sure you book in a call with her pronto. So you also have something really cool. It's the 5-day Crush Burnout Reclaim Your Life Blueprint, which sounds amazing. I want this. I want to download this. And this is something that you're offering for free. Is that right?
That's correct. So
amazing.
It actually starts Monday the 6th. So I'm not sure if people will be able to hear it soon enough to sign up. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be doing it again. But it's a 5-day challenge. It's called Crush Burnout, Reclaim Your Life. And it's basically, there are 3 stages to burnout, and I can go into that in detail on another call. But there are 3 stages to burnout. And so we dig into those 3 stages, really become aware if you are experiencing burnout, how to overcome the burnout, how to crush the burnout, and really live your life to your fullest. And there's a whole roadmap for the entire 5 days. And yes, it is free. And that's on Facebook.
Wonderful. Is that in a Facebook group or on a like?
It is. It is. It's on a Facebook group. Yep. Crush Burnout, Reclaim Your Life.
Is that what the actual group's called as well? Yeah.
Yes.
So Crush Burnout, Reclaim Your Life, and that is a group. And I can imagine when you guys out there listening, click to join, there may be some questions or whatever, and you can just say that you have been introduced to Jen's Unstoppable podcast show. And I'm sure you'll be accepted super fast.
Of course.
So Jen, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show today. What you're doing in the world is just beautiful. And I just always find it incredible that people can go full circle. So from feeling, this horrible kind of anxiety and stress and overwhelm to now actually being able to share their gifts and helping other women that are going through that completely change their life for the better. I always find it very overwhelmingly beautiful. And yeah, it just shows you sometimes the universe knows exactly what it's doing, huh?
Exactly. Thank you, Jen. And thank you for the work you're doing as well. It's all of us. We need all of us.
Absolutely. There's space for every single one of us in our own unique, beautiful gifts. So
Yes.
thank you, Jen. So everyone listening, like I said, make sure that you pop over there to Jen's space and get to know her and get to know what she's all about. You can click the links below, of course. And if you want to know a little bit more about Unstoppable, the links for that will just be below Jen's details too. So I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening again to you all, wherever you are in the world. It is blessed to have you as part of this movement. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you real soon. Take care, everyone.